All right, it looks like we're back live again. This is the third time I'm streaming today. I'm excited, guys. Welcome. I've been using I've been using Alacrity, but now I actually want to give iTerm, the native stuff that comes with macOS, a shot. Now I kind of like the way the text renders, and of course I can customize my font and ligatures for Alacrity. I was doing that, but I figured I've got some other more important stuff to do with my time for the time being. Anyway, guys, welcome. Thanks for joining in. I'm here again to do what I love to do best. Coding it all out, punching it all out. Right? That's what we do. That's why we're here. Anyway, before I left off a few hours ago, I was working on if else statement parser for my query builder, right? And we support a for loop now. Let's go to query. I believe it's in query turbo test, right? Let's see. So as you can see from line 30, from this line, right, under this macro, this is like a query builder, a very complex query builder. For me, in my opinion, and with my experience and knowledge of query builders and ORMs and stuff, this is by far the most powerful query builders. Thank you, Paul Millsap. I appreciate you for always joining in. Your support means a lot to me. It's always nice to see you around. Yeah, I do love what I do, and that's why I'm doing this. I'm open sourcing this. I've got a lot of stuff. It's a lot of these things I'm working on are things I wish existed, and it seems like no one would build it, and that's why I'm building it. So as you can see, and feel free to ask me any question anytime you have any questions or suggestions. I'm always open to new ideas and new ways of doing things. And again, thanks for joining in. We're live and direct. So first thing first, right here you see it's a very complex query. Here we have a create statement. We get a balance out of this, and also here you see we have another like query here, and we're not even binding this to any variable, but that's fine. We're able to write. This is not Rust, to be clear. This for loop, it looks like Rust, but it's actually not Rust. So it feels natural, and everything you do just works. You don't even have to think about it. You're able to assign normal variable. You're able to do a lot of crazy stuff, and like this is just beautiful. For example, you could even take this and assign it to a variable outside here, and do, let's say, names, and put this here, and you do something like this, right? You could even do something like this. I need to check that actually, but anyways, you could also take this and you should be able to do something like this. I need to check that. Anyway, we'll come back to that. I want to implement the for loop first. I see why that is that way. It expects an expression here, and there when you put names, that's an identifier. Can I do a cargo audit? Yeah, I can do it. Maybe after implementing the if else statement, we can do a cargo audit. Or what do you think? I just want to get this if else out of the way. So for if else, actually, we would have like 3 things. So let's say if else meta parser 2. So we're gonna get the if part of things. So we get if meta, and that should be, let's say, let's say conditional just if meta. Let's do if meta. I'm gonna do the cargo audit once I'm done with this implementation. So yeah, we're gonna have I don't know if you've seen the way the database implements it. So you can have something like if, then you have condition, and then you could have the body right here, and the body actually has to be like a block. It has to return something at the end, or just the way Rust does it, you could have a query without having a return statement, but you don't need it with a colon. So you have something like this. In our own case, the body would be just like a query chain. Then this would just be an expression. It could also be an identifier. But typically this would be an expression. Then you could have else if with a condition. Then you have the body. Then you have else, the body, right? So if we want to represent this, let's see. I might misspelling struct. Okay. So here we have the expression, or let's just say the condition and the body. Yep. And that's the same for else if. So we can say else if meta, and for else struct else. For else, all we've got is the body. Yep. So for these we have the if meta, we have the else if meta. Yeah, that would be a vector because there could be multiple of these, and the last one is optional. This is required. So we would have to change this implementation, and of course we want a generated identifier for it, so we can use it to bind the query. So we can have that also. So we generate the variable name and because I would like to also support something like maybe you just having an if macro where you could do something like this, right? Where you could have something like this and you write the query. What I'm gonna do here is I'm not gonna start parsing this as like, I'm not gonna do input dot parse something like this, token if. I'm not gonna do this here because I want to be able to support both the procedural macros being embedded into the entire query chain, like query turbo, transaction, and block, and at the same time I want to support you being able to just write standalone if statement. So I'll just extract the body here. So we're gonna have like a separate if else statement parser, which will do that check basically what we've got here. Yep. So let's start parsing the body. Should we also allow parentheses? Maybe. We can remove that if we don't want it later. So if we're allowing parentheses, first we just want the, let's name this condition. Let's call that condition. Let's call it condition content. So we parse the parentheses out of it, and that would be an expression. It should be so we can call this like if expressions. Can we get the body from that also? Okay, so that's for if meta. Let's what I'm gonna do. So we parse the content from the parentheses. If we've got it, we get a condition out of it, which is meant to be an expression. The next up, we're gonna have to parse the body. So the condition first. So let's do something similar, and let's call this body content. Let's call this body content. But right here, rather than, this is not parentheses, this is brace. This is brace, and yeah, we get the body content, and yeah, I guess we can take that out of and yeah, we can get, let's say, if meta, this is the condition content, and should be able to infer it. Then also body contents. Okay, we have double stop there. Then we do the same thing for body. So that gives us the if meta. That's how we're gonna get the if meta, and otherwise we need to like dry this part up. But for now, let's just do let if meta and essentially we could do something similar, but just that it's not gonna be parenthesized. Let's make this to do. So it's not parenthesized, and we just pretty much so we're expecting to parse the input right away to get this condition, then we parse the body. So that's how we get the if meta. Then how about the else if meta? This is gonna be a little bit more involved. And one thing I'm actually thinking is you know what, well, we can do that later. Let's do this first. So this will be else if meta. So this is slightly different in the sense that we're gonna parse, of course, the condition. That's same. Else if meta, there should be a vector of it. Okay, let's leave that first. So we parse, parenthesize, we get then we get the body also. And before we do this, there's one thing we need to do. We need to check if it's else if statement. But this is what I'm gonna do. I'll try to parse this separately. So let's take this. Let's implement a separate parser for this. So you can then simplify this part and just do if meta input dot parse if meta. Great. And what we can actually do here is let's use a wrapper for this and just make this a vec. So let's implement its own parser file. Parse let's move that up. Okay, yeah. But actually, the first thing we want to do is we want to parse that token. So parse that, then with parenthesized. Else if meta. Else if. So we're gonna do a single one first. So actually, probably better to attack it one at a time. So this, you know what? If meta. Yeah. So else if a single else if is just gonna be also con meta, and of course, yeah, we want to get a conditional metadata, and let's put a to do here, and yes, con meta. It's pretty much the same thing as if you've got the conditions and you've got the braces. We can dry up the repeated part, but let's make it work first. So we have the conditions and the braces and the body. So we get this right, and before that we parse the else if before we do those checks. Right. Anyway, so then we can return else if meta. And this is con meta. So now that we've parsed a single else if, I guess what we can do when we're parsing, maybe we should do else first. Else is pretty much just the body. So let's parse that also. Parse else. And yeah, we're going to thank you for saving me some stress. Pretty much we just parse the else, then we parse out the body, and that's, you get the gist. So else if meta, we actually want it's gonna be a vector of it. So this is optional. That looks good. So what we want to do is Well, we parse the if, since if should always be there, and after parsing the if, actually, since you could have if else straight away, or just if, I mean, if with else if. What we're gonna do now is let's get if else meta. Then we're gonna peek into it. Actually, we want to peek into this while peek and input peek to token if. So we want to check if it's else if, right? So while that is the case, we just want to keep pushing into else if meta. So we parse else if meta and we just push it. We could only have only one else, so we just pretty much check that, and that gives us the else meta since it's optional, and we can aggregate everything here and just let's fill it up. So we have the if meta, else if meta, and else meta, and the generated identifier, and that should probably conclude most of the things we need to do. We might have to, we would have to tokenize this also. It's gonna look a little bit different. So we get all those. So how do we tokenize this in a way that makes sense? So what do we want to render? Let me see my if else statement. And actually the if else statement has changed a little bit since I implemented this, so you don't have the then keyword being rendered anymore, but I can deal with that later. So let's see an example usage. Let's copy that. So it's gonna look something like this. Should I move that out? Maybe. Okay, let's just put it here so I can easily see. So if always has to be there, so let's say if code would be let's say code, and it's gonna be so we can start with this and say create name, create name. So we get if, then go to token string. So so first we need the expression, which is going to be condition from our query builder. So let's just say if expression is going to be if meta condition. Why do we have to clone that? There are no field. You know what, I'm just gonna see why that is the case, but this is what I'm gonna do. Let's implement a deref, and this is the same thing for con meta. So now we're able to get a condition. This looks good. So this gives us the if condition expression. Then we also want if body. So this would be if count expression, and then we go, then we should use the if body, and that is that. Okay, yeah, this we actually want to use generate code, and that gives us, so if body to render, so we're gonna have our one render first before we chain it up. So we put if body to render, but since it's actually a block, then we wanna yep, that. Then we want to do the same for else if, but that might look a little bit different. Yes. So for else if, let's do else if close pro macro true token stream okay, that looks a little bit good, but there might be some issues with it. So we get else if, we get a condition expression, we get the body to render. So that's a single else if, right? And we could have multiple of that. Else if, then okay, actually that does look good. Then we're gonna have like you know what, I prefer to use maybe no, else proc macro true, and that would be else meta else meta, and let's just map that because it's optional, right? Yeah, I prefer to use that approach. So we default to empty token, otherwise we get the elf meta, we generate code, get the code to render. It should be just one, that's the body, and then we get the code. Okay, that's a keyword. And tokenize, so move over that. Man. So the code to render is gonna look like to render. Got the if code, else if, then we hand it up there. Let's convert that. See, then to chain, let's see how I did this for loop. So what to render? Give me a second. I need to check out something real quick. Yeah, so this is what we're gonna render. Which gives us the statement. Then what are we gonna change? Let's see again the for loop. The old statement is just we could allow nested if statement also. Anyway, this is also what we're gonna change. I wonder if I need to change it up front. I like scoping it, so if we want to do some other stuff, we have that freedom. I usually like doing something like this. You know what, let's just do this first. Let's chain equals to render. Let's just do that, then we'll sort it out. You know what, I'm just gonna clone that for now. Just gonna clone that. I feel like I'm doing oh, I feel like I'm doing back and forth there. I probably don't have to do these let's see. Anyway, let's just leave that. So I get that now. Let's look at what else do we need to change here. Let's clone this. We can why am I using it? Actually, we can just make this a reference to yeah. So we have mostly what we're on. Implement if else query builder parser. If else So we need to go to query if else. Okay, we're parsing it already. Yeah. It's private. We're parsing that already. Then let's see if we're doing this here. Okay, we haven't implemented that. Before we do that, let's check if we're checking. Yeah. If okay, we're doing that. Yeah, I think that's probably sufficient. Of course, we can do also value pick 2. Actually, not that. We can do expression or something, but yeah, this is fine. This is fine. So we already have that. Just need to implement the tokenization, the code. I've actually done this, but maybe I need to, because yeah, I'm already doing this here. But anyway, let's just do this as an experiment. Let's just do it as an experiment. So let's check query turbo. So yeah, we're able to write a for loop. Let's try to write an if else statement. If so, could have parentheses or not. So let's do an example. We can do let account so yeah, we can do, let's say if balance is, I believe that's an integer. Let's check. Yep. So we can say if balance is greater than I don't know, 1 milli 100, we can have, so we can say maybe I don't know, does this need to end with, yeah, expected curly braces. We got one here, and actually there's one thing I have noticed here that I might have to fix, but we'll come back to that. Do we actually need to have this semicolon. Anyway, I'm gonna add it. So let's if else. Where is it? So yeah, we parse the if. No, why are we doing that? Okay, we parse if meta, else if meta, then we parse else, and let's also parse the ending. So let's go back there. Okay, that seems to work now. Okay, let's say we have just one query. We could also have like let name or let first name because let's score because 100. Expected curly braces as if so these are conditionally parsed, so that's expecting the curly brace. Let's check this. If parenthesize you know what, let's go check the query again. Are we parsing it here with if because we also need to parse the follow. Yeah, you're supposed to parse the for keyword itself. And anyway, I'm gonna restart this just to be sure there's nothing wrong with my editor. Give me 1 second. Yep. So, oh, that should be under query turbo. Or query chain actually. Let's go. query chain. Well, we person it there. Query chain parser. Well, we implement it. Aren't you supposed to parse the for? Well, we parsing the for. I would expect that we parse like because we're just picking it there. Input the parse. Why didn't we do this? But I'm expecting that we need to do that, don't we? So why did that work before? Because we're only picking to be able to generate the statements. As you can see up here, we pick but we don't parse. We pick but we don't parse. So that's interesting. And the reason I'm doing this is because I also want to allow you to be able to do something like use if statement as a top level stuff. So like basically do something like this and write your stuff here, or like however you wanna. Then you can write maybe your condition age greater than, you know, I want you to be able to do something like this. You can also use GT5. I want you to be able to do something like this. You get the gist. Else if blah blah blah. You get the gist. That's why I'm not parsing that for loop right here. That's why I'm not doing it. Except I want you to do something like this, which I'm not sure if you would want to do that. And do like if a GT5, you get the gist. But actually on the second thought, I'm thinking anytime you need to use if or for loop, you probably want to just use query chain. Like even if it's top level, just use query chain and you write your for loop in it. Alright. But anyway, since we can support both, I'll probably just leave it. So yeah, this was what I was suspecting. So why did this work before? Where were we parsing this? If we go to query turbo, maybe that's where. No, query chain parser. My stuff is messing up again. I think I might just switch to Alacrity. So let's check query parser. It's on that query chain. But all we're doing here is just personal the statement. So our personal statement, let's see, still loading. I probably should turn on the lights. Do we have a parser for this? Do I just introduced that, so it's interesting. Anyway, let's see the test again. Expected for that's interesting. So where was I parsing it before? Oh, okay, we're doing it here. The top level, of course. So we should be doing it here also. Yep. You know what? I'm just gonna okay, actually statement person. I actually have it here. Oh, is it implemented somewhere? Oh, so I actually implemented that already. I didn't notice that. So if else statement should be used in query. Okay, yeah, I see the problem, and I need to probably fix that so I can easily recognize the problem next time. And they should take this statement instead. If else statement parser. So this should fix the problem. Let's check the example again. Okay, now it looks like it's fixed. So let's write more conditions. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. Let's add even more. Else if let's give me more conditions. Maybe I mean, you can just keep using the same thing, and you don't need the parentheses. So let's demonstrate that. Balance greater than 1000. I mean, you could have normal stuff here, anything you want. So let's see what we'll get in here. Okay. I think I know what the problem is. I know what the problem probably is. And but let's commit this. Oh, am I? Second, I need to check something. I'll be right back soon. Guys, I'm back, but I actually just remembered that I do have an appointment in a few minutes. But I think I know what the problem is here. We can quickly look through that. So we're doing this here, and I think we shouldn't. Or maybe we should. That's debatable. But anyway, we're gonna take that off, and we can revisit if we should do that consistently everywhere else. Because for loop, you're gonna see for loop, we're basically just getting the query chain and assign it to a variable which we can then use to chain whatever we want to do. So yeah, I mean, I guess you can decide if you think that makes sense to you. And as you can see, we're doing the same thing here, even though we've already bound. We must have already bound that stuff there. That's one of those things we need to fix. And let's see if that's actually. I'm gonna have to restart, but I need to start getting ready to go out real quick. I need to get my hair done, and yep, I need to get some stuff ready. I need to order and book for some stuff. But yeah, we've made some progress with the if statement. We pretty much implemented the parser. We just need to figure out we just need to figure out this error. Expected expression found lets statement only supported directly in conditions of if and while expression expected blah blah blah. Yeah, we will come back to figure this out, and I think that's good. And just to be sure, let's just do true first. That's an expression. Okay, now it's actually expanding, so you can get an idea what the problem was. Let's do this. Woo! A lot of stuff. So we can then figure this out. As you can see right here, this is where the first mistake lies. We are putting in directly the entire statement, and really what we want here is I mean, we have to decide what we actually want here. One thing we could do here is this, have a block, so something like this, make it a block, and where's my cursor? Make it a block, and right here just bind all the, like, chain all this, whatever it is. That's one thing we could do. But anyway, when I come back, we'll look into this better. I love you guys. Thanks for always joining in, and I'm excited still, and I think we've made some decent progress, and we can and should be proud of ourselves. I can't wait to be back to join you guys to continue with this work. I hope you guys are having an amazing evening. And actually, thinking of this, I think I know where we need to fix stuff, of course, but we'll do that once I'm back. I'll be thinking about it while I'm out. I love you guys. See you guys soon as possible. Once I get back, I'll try to stream again. So shout out to Paul, Millsap, and Skyline. Thanks to you guys, and whoever is online incognito watching out, that's gonna be watching this later. Peace.